And you know that's a good exercise because sometimes we have to reboot ourselves. Have you ever heard the term "I got off on the wrong foot"? Or let's just try this again tomorrow. You know, one of the things in life is we got a new shot every day. As a matter of fact, we got a new shot every moment. We can reset ourselves at any given time, so we too can be like Wi-Fi. We can go ahead and restart ourselves. When you find problems, you want to dismantle the approach that you take to problems in life. And what do I mean? To dismantle our mindset and to dismantle some of our beliefs, because some of our beliefs are what hindering us. What do we tell ourselves? What's the first thing we're doing in the morning? And are we taking the time to be kind to ourselves? Are we journaling? Are we praying? Are we taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually to stay happy? And what how good do we know ourselves for complete fulfillment, that what's going to keep us fulfilled in life, even in our lonely times or our distressed times? It's all has to do with how we think, what we read, sometimes what we drink and eat. There's just a lot of things to becoming yourself, but basically patience is the key to gradually getting to where we want to be, because we know what it is that we need in life. And some people think we don't. If you find yourself in patterns of worry and in patterns of worrying about things, just know that you don't need much evidence to know what it is about yourself that needs to change, or what patterns that you need to come out of. We don't need assurance from other people. Our journeys, they're personal. Our wisdom's personal. Nobody can tell you how comfortable you are in your chair. Only you know. And when it comes to living intentionally and to being the best that you are, this is a journey that is, it's almost private. Other people may notice it, but it really is. The changes that I've made in my life and the things that I do and the things that I will or won't do were all thoughts and ways that I lived and I learned that I personally challenge. And when we're challenging things and we're facing fears and we're going through fears instead of going up or around or avoiding them, and we're really putting an effort into our life, this is when the good change happens. Good change just doesn't happen. It's not, I win the lottery, my life is great. Because you can win the lottery, your life would be horrible. What I'm talking about is putting in mindful effort to actually writing things down, my like and my dislike list, what I like about myself, how I think I could change. And we were not going to use what I don't like about myself, but what things in your life as a prompt, something to write about today, make you uncomfortable that you wish you could change. And a lot of mine, and then talking about me, is tolerance. What are we tolerating in our life? And what are we allowing to happen in our life? And because we want to replace some of the things with more positive affirmations, things that reflect our capabilities. We want everything in our life to reflect our capabilities and that fall within our boundaries. So this will be a challenging course to teach, because it's personal growth through conscious effort. And through conscious effort, it means we, on purpose, are going to wake up and consciously be aware of our day all day. And remember, I don't want to talk this way anymore. I don't want to use those words. These are places that I don't belong in anymore. These are the things that we're telling ourselves when we're working on our conscious effort. Emphasizing on challenges that you face in your life. So think of the challenges that you have, put emphasis on them, how you're going to overcome them, and how you are going to go about getting rid of them. And the first one is when you write down your problems, you're automatically minimizing them and you're already taking control of them. When you write down my challenges, what I want, just write it out. Let the ink just flow on the paper. And you'll realize that your biggest problem isn't piddly squat. It's a little pile of cockadoodle bullshit that your mind's turning into this really big lesson in life. You know, that's in our DNA, this sense of doom, that something's always going to get us. We're always scanning for danger. We're always scanning for things to be wrong. But what they are these internal barriers that we have, which are anchored in fears. They're anchored in self doubt, and they're anchored in I can't do this, I can't afford this, I shouldn't do this, and they're emotional obstacles that constantly throughout our days and time keep us from reaching our full potential. That's what they are. These are these thoughts, but we're the ones that are weighing them in. We're the ones that are keeping them in. And sometimes somebody might give us an insult or some type of criticism, and then we take it the wrong way. That's where almost independently you should keep away people opinions out of your mind and keep your opinions to yourself. But a good way to keep your opinions to yourself is to journal your thoughts. So it helps you keep track of where you are. And if how you feel that other people feel about you is part of that, then that's just really going to prevent you from moving forward. I think when you're spending too much time on what other people think, it's limiting your own beliefs. It's not indulging in yourself enough to know what's true and what's not true about you. It's not listening to a little critic that tells you that you can't go forward. It's giving away your power. You don't want to give your power to anybody. You don't want somebody else to have your power and to take your seat, taking your throne in your life. You're the king of yourself. So self-awareness is to recognize patterns and triggers of that when you're of people that are trying to take you over, people that are trying to say things about you, or people that are just gaslighting players in your life that you don't want around, and challenge these people and these barriers by reframing your negative thoughts into positive affirmations and setting realistic goals in your life. Setting the goals in your life that are specific to you, that's going to help take you to where you want to be. And the consistent effort and patterns are a key to gradually dismantling all the boundaries. Good morning, Couch. All of the boundaries. And when you're dismantling some of what you think's keeping you away from purpose, sometimes you're dismantling some people in your life, some places, maybe certain habits, maybe some of the things that you don't want. Couch, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day, my friend. That's going to start out with a good day. So engage in practices like mindfulness, journaling, and seeking feedback from other people that matter to you. Seeking feedback when somebody notices something changed. Those are the things that'll help foster growth in your life. And the growth is what we're looking for. And we're looking through growth through a conscious effort. So that is different from when we were talking about autopilot, living intentionally. When we're living intentionally, we are living with conscious effort. And that's important. That means that we're waking up aware that today is a day to be better than yesterday. When I make plans next week, it is to make the plans that I was afraid of, to strip away some of the fears that I have, to strip away that I can't go there, I can't afford this, because indeed you can, and you can go there. And it's going to help you lead to empowerment. Empowerment is one of the things that you get from personal growth when you start empowering yourself. When you wake up and you're going to be sick and tired of the fears that you've always had in your life, whether it happens in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. You get tired of living the life of, I'm sick and tired of being afraid of this. I'm sick and tired of being afraid of these people not going into that. It's kind of like, you need to be the editor and writer of your own book in your newspaper and read the front page every day. That should be from you to help you better understand where it is you want to go, where it is that you like, and who it is that you like and who it is you take with you. Those are the things and the lessons of today. But you're not going to have a win every day. This isn't about success every day. It's about getting better. You're still going to have times where you're going to give in to self-doubt. You're still going to have times where you're going to have a hard time. Put it this way. You're traveling and once in a while you're going to get a fucking flat tire, right? And you're going to deal with it. You're going to fix it. Sometimes we're going to get chewed up and spit out by people, but that's all right. That's another little flat tire. Sometimes it's going to rain. So we want to stay resilient and we want to know that there's going to be adversity out there. And when you're doing that, it gives you more of a profound sense of purpose and satisfaction. Satisfaction out of the fact that you survived it, that you made it through. There's a lot of satisfaction in overcoming some of the cockadoodle bullshit that has hindered us, that has held us back. When we recognize it, we start dismantling it. And sometimes, I'm telling you, it is people, places, and things. And I'm not a big blamer, but the people, places, and things are triggers that can help us identify what we need to dismantle up here. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm saying it's the people, places, and things. Although there are some people, places, and things that have probably not great agendas in our life that could be better. And they can create emotional and mental obstacles in our life. We need to identify that. And it's not going to be their fault because everything that happens to us at the end of the day, we're participating in, right? So you want to watch things that are preventing you from reaching your full potential in life. That's what's important. That's what this 10 weeks is going to be about. This 10 weeks will be all about you and all about how you feel about yourself. All about resetting, even my little show here, even that. We're going to start doing it more on YouTube, and TikTok will still be involved in it, but we want to grow. We want to get out to people. We want to make things better with a conscious effort into doing that. And people matter. So what we want to do is we want to grip today really, really good. And we want to put on our writer's hat and do a little bit of journaling. That's what I brought up this morning when Norma asked me what I wanted to do this weekend. The weather may not be so good. So I can do some writing. Writing is something that makes me feel better. It's an escape, and it allows me to utilize a gift that we all have of our thought and our emotions. So we want to have a good day today. I'm going to be signing off here. I got an extreme, not too busy for you, but I have more on my plate today than I can handle. And I've got so much daylight to get it all done. I'm going to be back on Tuesday with a full hour, and I'm going to be back next week with a full hour. And next week is all about overcoming barriers. It's all about overcoming barriers. And I'm going to share some stories and tell you about the biggest barriers in my life. So it's going to be more of from a first party for me. So I'm going to talk about the process of recognizing barriers in your life. And I wanted to show up today to be here for a moment and at least to tell you to have a Farm Girl. I'm looking forward to you as well, you being here, and Brian and people who show up. But we're going to talk about some pretty amazing barriers next week and how I overcame some stuff. So I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much.